Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Evening Happy Hour with Back to Basics Dog Trading. I'm excited to be here. Hope you guys answer some of your questions that you may have regarding your dogs and your dog's new behaviors. So again, welcome, and anybody joining either now or on the replay, please remember to leave your comments. Let me know you're watching. Let me know how things are going, where you're watching from, and all that good stuff. So today's topic is going to be a topic I know we've talked about quite often in the past, but now in my new environment, I'm getting to see a lot more of some behaviors with dogs that I understand people don't like and whatever. So now in our new environment, we have to walk Zoe all the time. I think I've told you guys this in the past. And the beauty of walking Zoe is, one, we're creating a better bond between us and Zoe again. But I'm getting to see a lot of what goes on and what other people are talking to me about on their walks with their dogs. And what I'm noticing is a lot of dogs, especially in the area where I am right now, have leash reactivity. I'm seeing it. I mean, we can be 100 yards away and I start seeing dogs reacting to me walking Zoe. And I'm like, okay. So I started observing a lot this week, watching how people are correcting their dogs from these unwanted behaviors. And it was really, really interesting to see. And I think most of the people that I observed were doing the exact same thing. Instead of teaching their dog not to react, they were dragging their dog away from the situation. They were yelling, they were screaming. You could see they were getting frustrated. And all the things we talked about here, that no anger, no frustration, no nonsense, is what I'm seeing people do to correct their dogs. And it's hard from my point of view because they see it and they see me and they walk away. Because they're trying to avoid the situation with their dog reacting this way, and they're trying not to fix the problem. Where me personally, I want to go over and help them. So again, it's a very sticky, tricky situation for me to be able to at least give some input on how to fix the problems. I am going to be working on it to help the people who live here in this community out by doing some things with the community and bringing awareness of how to fix these problems. But I want to address what I've been seeing. And anybody who's watching, either now or again on the replay, please put your comments. Is your dog leash reactive? How are you handling the leash reactivity? Are you making your dog learn to do it better, or are you taking your dog away from the situation to avoid the situation? So let me know in the comments. And again, if you're watching now or on the replay, shoot me a comment, say hi, let me know you're watching, where you're watching from. It'd be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to go into a little bit more what I would be telling the people that I see in this community whose dogs are leash reactive on how to deal with it. I walked by a couple yesterday. They were walking their dog, and the dog instantly, as soon as we came around the corner, the dog was there, got very low, started growling. And I'll tell you now, tail was wagging, but it wasn't a wagging of, oh, I'm a happy dog. It was almost like a rattlesnake wag, if that makes sense. So we had a conversation, and what I did at that point, because Zoe reacted instantly. In her and in her mind, she felt like she had to. That dog was threatening her. She let out. She didn't move forward, but she growled and let that dog know in no uncertain terms, "Hey, don't mess with me." And I had no problem with it, but I still had to take control of the situation with my personal dog. So I put Zoe into a sit position, and the lady and her husband were like, "Oh my God, look at this! How?" And I started talking to them. They were one of the few people that I actually had an opportunity to talk to about it. And I said, well, it's something I've worked on very hard, but that's what you need to do with your dog. I watched him. He tried to drag the dog away. And I'm like, but that's not going to teach the dog anything. One, they had the dog on a harness. I wasn't going to go with that, but we didn't get into all that. And what I tried to explain to them is the reason I can get Zoe to go from that to instant calm is because she realized, okay, I took over. I'm in charge. She doesn't need to protect. And that's what the goal of that exercise was with Zoe. So we started talking, and the whole time I was talking to the wife, she stayed there. The husband kept moving the dog further and further away. And I'm like, that's not going to fix this situation. And I tried to explain to him what you want to do is get your dog's attention because your dog is not focused on you. You're irrelevant to your dog at this point. And the dog didn't care who was on the other side of this leash. I was watching this. Um, and it was actually great for me to see. But the guy was having a conversation with his dog. He was using tension to try to control the situation. And as we all know, tension is not an energy a dog is ever going to respond properly to. And, we talked maybe for about 5 minutes out there, and that whole 5 minutes, that dog was reacting. Now, I didn't do anything. I didn't take the leash. It wasn't my place at this point. We were having a conversation. And what amazed me is when I was talking about the energy of the dog, I was showing them with Zoe the whole time, that whole 5 minutes we were having the conversation. Zoe never left that sit position. And then the lady was like, "Oh, can I give her a treat? She's being so good." I said, "Well, you can give her a treat because you want to, but I expect her to do this behavior not for a treat." And so she came over, and you can see she was hesitant. I said, "Just give her the treat." And she puts a treat out, and Zoe takes it like a lady, and she goes, "Oh my God, that's the first time that she's been able to give a dog a treat without losing her fingertips." And I thought that was amazing. And I'm like, "Well, when you give your dog treats, what do you do?" She goes, "I try to be faster than the dog." And I'm like, "Well, that doesn't work in my world." So again, they're never rewarding the dog's calm. And through the conversation, I found out they try to redirect the dog when it was doing this unwanted behavior with treats. It would take the treats and just go right back to doing what it was doing. So again, with that being said, there's other ways to handle it. How do we handle it? You stop. You tell your dog, you get your dog's attention one way or another. If you have to pop the leash with a firm no or nope, you get that. You have to become more relevant in your dog's world, more so than that object in front of them. And that's what we talk about. That's why I put this energy as the most important communication between us and our dogs, is because that's what they're going to understand. Don't worry about the words. I say this week after week. Don't even worry about why is my dog doing this. The most important thing is for you to learn to communicate with your dog through a language that they understand. And what is that language? It's your energy. If you don't want your dog to react, you have to stay calm. Not the, "Oh crap, there's another dog." And it's real important so your dog can understand where you're coming from. And again, guys, if this makes sense, whoever's watching, please shoot it in the comments. Let me know you're here. I'm not seeing any comments, and I know the counter in the upper corner isn't the most accurate thing in the world, so I don't know if anybody's watching me right now. But if you're watching on the replay later on, shoot me your questions, guys. Don't be shy. I get to all the questions throughout the week. I'm going to continue getting through all the questions. We're here to help. The only difference is if there's not a lot of questions, this doesn't go, the live portion doesn't go on as long, but that's okay too. So again, you want your dog not to be leash reactive. Well, one, we know we can't start a walk off if your dog's excited. So we know before we even get out the house, they have to be calm. Once we get them out and they're calm, if they're still reacting to other dogs, it should be easier to get their focus back on you because they're in a calmer state of mind. Once the weather breaks down here a little bit, we're going to go ahead and we're going to record me walking Zoe, or maybe my daughter or my wife walking Zoe. So we show you how we even use structure here in this environment. It's not always about smelling, peeing, and pooping. It's about doing structure in our walk too. Yes, there are walks she has to go where she has to use the bathroom. We may let that go a little quicker. First walk in the morning. The last walk at night is usually more for bathroom purposes. But the rest of the walks, and we walk her, anywhere from up to 6-7 times a day, maybe more sometimes. They're more about when I walk, it's more about the structure, the healing, and me reinforcing some things. I use the word heal, make sure she comes back. Give her maybe a little tug on the leash, and she gets too far ahead of me. She knows to come back. I'll snap my fingers. She knows she has to come back. I'll say, "Hey," she knows she has to come back. I've worked with her multiple ways that she knows when she hears or feels something from me when we're walking, it means come back to me, heal. So we're going to record that because I really want you guys to see structure is more important on the walk than anything else. It's more important, especially if you have the yard where your dog can go out and pee and poop during the course of the day. The walk should be more structured than anything else. But if you don't set up the structured walk from the beginning, it's hard not to have a dog that's reactive. It's hard not to have a dog that's smelling everything, where every smell on the ground is more relevant than the person holding the leash. And the person holding the leash has to be the most relevant thing in the world to the dog at that point. And I hope all this makes sense, guys. It's real important. And I think the proof of the pudding will be when I get to do these recordings. Like I said, I'm waiting for some of this weather to break. It's been not as bad as up in New York. It's just been rainy and cloudy and overcast and, general miserable type of weather here, except for the last 2 days, which was nice, but I had other things to do. So we're going to hopefully start recording some of the sessions I do with Zoe out there. Any of the sessions that I do here, as far as in the community, will be recorded and put out on my YouTube channel, just so you guys can get an idea what Back to Basics is all about in a group environment. And it'll be regurgitating a lot of what I say here, but that's okay. And what I say on my Saturday mornings on Facebook. Again, I don't know if these comment things are working tonight. I know we do have some problems with the comments sometimes on this platform. Trying to keep my phone open here to see if I can get any comments coming on here as well. I'm putting my comments on. Hopefully they actually work. Just give me a second here. Comments off, comments on. So I'm assuming if anybody puts a comment on, I will see them come up on my phone as well. That's what I'm hoping for. Because I know we've been getting some complaints about not getting the comments while I'm live, and I'm getting them after the fact. And I can't figure out why that's happening. So again, I don't see any people really on here, so this may be one of my shortest lives, because there's only so much I could talk about without getting some questions from people. And I think what we're going to start doing is putting out questions on my Facebook page. What do you guys want me to talk about? Maybe that'll start generating some interest, and I'll start blasting out some this format more and more into different areas. Just try to get people on here. Let's get this community built. And like I said, I'm not seeing a lot of people here, so I'm not going to stay long chatting. I'm assuming you guys want to enjoy your evening. I know up north you guys are getting ready for some more snow. So like always, guys, I guess we're just going to end this up real soon tonight. If you have any questions on leash reactivity or dog reactivity, shoot me a comment, shoot me a question, let me know. Let's hit the topic. You can ask the questions again after I end the live chat. Definitely feel free to ask any of the questions. If you're watching this on replay, good evening, Michelle. Hey, somebody actually is acknowledging me here. Yay. How is everything going with you and Rob and Athena? Because I'm curious on how things are going. I know this weather up there has not been conducive for you guys. From what I understand, another storm is coming. So it looks like I escaped at the right time. It's funny, I'm not seeing the questions come out on my phone, though, which is where things are getting much more manageable with the e-collar. Beautiful. If that's what's working, that's working. And like I said, people who are watching, I don't care what tools you use. If they work, they work. Continue using them. If the tools are working, use the tools. But like I've always said, what is the best tool in the trainer's toolbox is you and your energy. And I mean that. I'm sincere about that. Again, I'm trying to get my office area set up in the house here. Once I get that set up and I can start really doing some recordings, I'm going to have a whole video right here on YouTube of me just talking about the importance of energy and really hopefully getting it out there to people, how we can use the energy that we need to use with our dogs in our everyday lives, and how our energy in our everyday lives affects us in our relationship with our dogs. Trying to train her with it is so she doesn't associate it with a negative. Yeah, it shouldn't. The e-collar should never be associated with a negative. Um, we use praise, not just punishment. Beautiful, and that's what it's about. It's finding that balance, guys. It's about finding a balance. Yes, it's no different to me than raising kids. We have to find a balance when raising our kids. When do we discipline? When do we praise? When do we do? When do we do? And we're constantly doing this juggling act with our kids as well. So you have to do the praise as well as the punishment. And when they do good, make sure you praise them. And remember, the object is not just to say no to your dog, it's to turn those no's into yeses. And that's such a better way to do it. But you have to do it consistently. You have to do it consistently. I can't stress that enough. If we don't do it consistently enough, the dogs are not going to understand it. They're going to get confused. You, I know Michelle and Rob are doing it consistently, and Athena's getting it. How long it takes, I don't know. It's a process. Every dog is different. Every dog goes through a different, phase on how quickly they learn. But they learn, and that's the important part. As long as she's learning, and right now she is learning, and she's getting better and better every time. My goal is that you never ever have to do these corrections ever again, and eventually she just gets it. And that's what the object of this is supposed to be about. Not just hitting a button to punish her, popping a leash to punish her, yelling no. She still leaps towards the fence when she hears the dog next door, but is not as often and not for as long. Beautiful. So she's learning, and that's crucial. I mean, before when I got there, and based on what you guys were telling me, she would stay at that fence until you pretty much dragged her back into the house. So you're breaking through this boundary, this wall that was there, and she's starting to understand I'm not allowed to do this, but it's going to take some time, and each time should be easier and easier and easier to the point where hopefully she just ignores the other dog. That would be the ultimate goal. Or very minimal, just like basically barking at the fence and not jumping anymore. But you just got to make it uncomfortable. Every time she goes near that fence when that dog's out, you got to make it uncomfortable. You pop it a leash, stem of the collar, make it uncomfortable for her to go near within a foot of that fence when that other dog is out. And the more you guys stay consistent, and I know you guys are, the quicker the process is going to go. So it's beautiful. I love hearing the progress, and I keep hearing progress. I like that. Uh, it definitely makes my day. It makes what I do worthwhile when I hear this. So thank you, Michelle, for always keeping me up to date. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being one of my real great followers here on YouTube, as well as on my Facebook page every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. I'm trying to promote that out in this area of my Facebook one a little bit more. So hopefully our Saturday mornings can get a little bit more interesting with a lot more questions, because that would always be a lot of fun. Because I do believe the questions you guys ask if may help another person that's just watching, that may not have realized their dog is having this issue, or they're having this issue, or they're too embarrassed to ask. But so that's why I keep asking everybody, share these videos out, share my YouTube channel, share my Facebook page out to people. Let's get more people around the country and around the world watching and asking these questions. I don't care if I have to be here for 2 hours, 3 hours, as long as I have nothing going on. You know, and I really miss talking dog training. I haven't been doing it in a while because I'm still trying to get settled into the new environment. Next week, I'm going to do a big push on my business down here. Going out to see all the local groomers and vets and all that type of stuff, and maybe talk to some rescue groups. So hopefully that'll all help me out here, because I need to talk about dogs. That's my passion. But with that being said, guys, I see Michelle still here. I don't want to waste her evening. So we're going to pretty much wrap it up here. Again, anybody watching on the replay, still having trouble getting her out to go in the yard. You said don't push her or bribe her with food, but she won't budge. You said to coax her, but she doesn't respond. I usually drop a treat on the porch to get her outside. Okay, you're taking her out with the leash, I'm assuming. You have to hold that pressure, hold that pressure. I know she's a strong girl. And then as soon as you get any forward motion, release that pressure, praise her. do it again, repeat, repeat, repeat. She's just, I don't know why all of a sudden she doesn't want to go out the door. Just you if you have to use the treat because you got to get her out, do it by all means. I don't like it. I'm not thrilled with it. No more leash. Okay, maybe put her back on the leash just to guide her out again and praise it and make it a big deal like you did when she was a puppy and she was potty training. When she went to the bathroom outside, you made a big deal out of it. Maybe start bringing her out on the leash, and every time she gets out, make a big deal out of it, bring her out on the leash and praise her, praise her, praise her. And then one day, almost like doing the kids with the training wheel thing, maybe just make the leash into a slip leash, start walking out towards the door, take the leash off her, just drop the leash, and if she goes down her own, praise her. Just work with her. Yeah, start using the leash again, and just like I said, make it worth her time, make it fun. If she goes out on her own, give her a treat outside once in a while. She seems tender afraid or stalking. Again, why she's doing it, I don't know. We just got to change it. But yeah, if you want to do it, and like I said, take it back to potty training. When dog went potty outside, I gave treats. So if you feel that'll work, give her a treat one every 10 times she comes outside. But make sure you praise her and make it the best thing since sliced bread. Every time she goes outside on her own, praise her, praise her, praise her. Use the leash to help guide. Remember, the leash is a training tool. It's not necessarily a walking tool. Just use it to regroup and get her back into the motion. And like I said, try dropping the leash. If she walks out when you drop the leash, just carry the leash out with you. Maybe she'll just follow you out with the leash. Try different games, but make it fun. Make it fun. Have fun with it. That is an odd behavior, but it is what it is. Just work her through it. Whatever reason she's doing it, don't overthink it, because if we overthink things, we know we get ourselves in trouble. So again, guys, if there's any other questions, please, of course, pop them in here. Otherwise, I think we're going to wrap it up. It's been about a half hour or so. Again, thank you for inviting me into your homes every Wednesday evening. I hope to see everybody here Saturday morning on my Facebook page for Saturday morning coffee with Back to Basics dog training. And with that being said, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, God bless. And remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Have a great evening, guys.